Don't touch that dial. Put down that remote. In this episode, it's all about TV toys. Stick around.
Hello and welcome to another fun-filled episode of In the Toy Box. I'm Kevin, here with Matthew, and today we're talking about TV toys. And in front of us we have some 70s TV vehicles. So why don't we talk a little bit about that, Matt?
Okay, great. First, we're going to start off with Mego. They produced a Mego, Starsky and Hutch car along with some figures here, and this was produced in the 70s. The car itself was battery operated with a bump and go feature, seats two 8-inch action figures with a light up light.
Awesome. So the bump and go is like it hits something and kind of turns and then continues on?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. The Mego, as far as the action figure line that came with these figures, with the car itself, you had Starsky and Hutch.
Yep.
You had Captain Dobie, Huggy Bear, and a generic villain called Chopper.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was it. That was the toy line for that show.
Yeah, that's cool though.
One of my favorite episodes for this show was when they had someone trying to impersonate Starsky and Hutch. So they had like lookalikes.
Did they have a lookalike car as well?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they were up to no good, probably.
And how you could distinguish it, the car had like one hubcap missing on the villain car. So you're like, oh, that's the bad one.
We're gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, that was a cool episode.
Speaking of that, I really like the rims on all these cars. Actually, they're all very different. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, pretty neat. Yeah, they did it. Mego did a very good job.
Awesome.
Another company we have in front of us, LJN, which was in 1970 to 1990. Founded by Jack Friedman, who later founded the company Jakks Pacific, which we had, I think on an earlier show, we had that tall Superman here.
Oh, awesome. They're very well known for wrestling figures, so they're still around.
Oh yeah, they've been around for a while.
Awesome.
The company got its name by Norman J. Lewis, whose toy company employed Freeman in the 1960s. He just reversed the Lewis and the Norman, and then kept the middle initial.
So he paid homage to his boss.
He must have had a great job there.
I guess so. Learned everything he knew about toys from his boss, maybe.
That's right.
Awesome.
So LJN was the rival company for Mego. They produced vehicles and action figures based on TV shows, but different TV shows.
Sure, in a similar style.
Right. You had the Rookies, police car. You had the action figures based on the police officers that were in it. Chris, Mike, Terry, Lieutenant Riker. The figures were very similar to Mego, cloth, 8-inch in size.
Awesome.
Pretty much the same. The police car, I always fell in love with this car.
Gotta.
The best thing about that show was the theme song.
Really?
If you ever...
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, the theme song is awesome. And it's just the whole intro. Lastly, we have for the LJN, we have the Squad 51 from the Emergency series, which that was the only vehicle produced for that particular toy line.
Gotcha.
But again, they produced the action figures, Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto, who was the cast members for that show.
You're gonna need action figures to put into these vehicles, of course.
That's right. We'll have to
and
get
these are
some.
awesome. I'm so glad we're able to talk about them today.
And Hot Wheels, and we can't forget this one, Hot Wheels in front of us produced the Brady Bunch station wagon in 2012.
Oh yeah.
So
That's an awesome. Everyone knows somebody who had a wagon like that, and if you didn't, I feel bad for you because those are fun to ride in.
Yeah. So I'm glad we were able to get some TV toys and TV vehicles based on the 70s, because I think the cars themselves really stand out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Love them.
Tonight on the Toy Boat, toys from several TV networks board the boat and find love at sea. A cool teen from a large family meets a funny teenager from a boarding school.
A woman with pointy ears falls for an army corporal on R&R. Hijinks ensue when a street-smart detective from Bay City insists on bringing his Gran Torino with him everywhere he goes.
Don't give up on this detective, baby. Starry-eyed communications officer finds romance with a California gumshoe. The Toy Boat. Soon we'll be making another run. toys, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. And toys, life's sweetest reward. Let us play, we'll play night and day. Toy boat, soon we'll be making another run. The toy boat promises playtime for everyone. There might be a Barbie or even a G.I. Joe. And toys won't break anymore. It's an open box. It's a brand new toy. It's toys. Welcome aboard. It's toys.
What better show to introduce to our show, $6 Million Man.
Absolutely.
They produced some really cool toys. Back in the 70s, they had Kenner. In 2005, Biff Bang Pow with 8-inch figures.
Like you see right here, right?
Right.
We have the $6 Million Man, and he's actually got real cloth clothing, and underneath it, he actually has clear skin. And you can see some parts, like what would you call it?
The bionic features?
Yes, all the bionic features. It's really sweet. And there's an episode where he meets Bigfoot.
My favorite episode.
Yeah, and he wrestles him in the woods. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's played by
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Almost positive.
Yeah.
And so you have the Andre the Giant figure there in the Bigfoot clothing.
Yeah.
So,
very good.
what else we got here?
Well, we have. Well, I just want to say the last thing with the Biff Bang Pow toys. They specialize in what we're a topic today, TV toys, which is pretty cool.
Right.
They did other toys along the likeness of Mego, and they did Twilight Zone, they did Battlestar Galactica, and they did the very popular $6 Million.
And when did you say that came out around?
2005.
Okay, so not too old.
No.
And the Kenner stuff is old, which we have here.
That's from the 70s.
Okay.
Yes, those are original Kenner figures from $6 Million Man.
I love that Steve Austin that you can look through his eye.
He's really cool.
So cool, yeah.
We actually have a custom one in front of me that was made in the likeness of the Kenner version.
Okay.
It doesn't have the bionic parts, it doesn't have the eye, but the face is spot on to Lee Majors, who played Steve Austin.
I mean, it does look cool. I took a good look at it earlier, and I was admiring it. Even the box alone.
Yeah.
I love the box. It's like a complete reproduction of the original box.
Absolutely.
Has the hole in the back of the box to look through. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kenner line for $6 Million Man also had, besides Steve Austin, they had Bigfoot. They had Oscar Goldman. Oscar Goldman had an exploding briefcase,
That's
which is
so
pretty
cool.
You actually, if you twisted it a certain way, it would open up normal, and you'd have the documents inside. And if you set it and twist it up another way, it would blow apart a side panel. And then when you opened it, everything looked like it was burnt.
Oh, that's
It was like
so
really
neat.
cool looking. I love that briefcase.
That is so neat.
Other toys we have for the $6 Million Man, Zyka toys.
Right.
3 3/4 inch figures. I
Yep.
have Steve Austin and Bigfoot in front of me. Those came out in 2013.
Okay, so those are fairly recent.
Fairly
You
recent.
see a lot of those size figures popping up now.
Another company, Retro Reaction.
Right. They make
Very
a lot
similar.
of stuff. Yep, a lot of
Carded
monsters.
figures the same way.
Awesome.
We have other toys that came out in reference to Bionic Man, Bionic Woman game in the 1970s by Parker Brothers.
Oh, cool. Have you played it?
I have not played it, but it's a pretty cool game. Pretty much the players travel around the board. You accept assignments, and I guess you got to do as many assignments as possible to win the game. I guess the person with the most cases won or something like that wins the game.
Now, was the Bionic Woman its own TV show?
It was.
Okay.
I believe she appeared as a character on the $6 Million Man, and then it was
like
a
a
spin-off
spin-off. Right.
of the show. Yeah.
Got you.
Very good. It was a very good show. In some ways, I think the Bionic Woman might be a better show than $6 Million Man.
I'd have to see him.
Yeah. Then we have Playing Mantis.
I love these figures.
And Playing Mantis produced some action figures in 1998 based on television shows of the past.
Yep.
Lone Ranger, Green Hornet, Flash Gordon.
Got Tonto and
Exactly.
Yep.
And some of them came with villains.
Right.
In front of us, we have the version of the Lone Ranger, which he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love him.
He's got that powder blue uniform on. He's just awesome.
These toys, they nailed it, I think.
Yeah.
They're super posable. The costume is amazing. The accessories are amazing. The boots are rubber. What I've always loved about it too is just you were able to originally buy the costume separate from the actual toy and dress them up. So the face you're seeing in front of you is actually just a little rubber mask that fits over a head of a very plain-looking male face. It's really neat how they did that.
But anyone who loved to watch a Lone Ranger starring Clayton Moore would love this action figure.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
The costume alone, like you said, does it justice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And I think we have one more. We have Fonzie, produced by Exclusive Premiere.
Yep.
Exclusive Premiere did some figures in 1997. They did Happy Days. They did The Munsters.
Yep.
They did all kinds of TV shows, and they're pretty good. They're 9 inches.
Yes, they're 9 inches. The likeness isn't really amazing, but I mean, they had a real cool selection of toys at the time. I do remember seeing a lot of them.
Fonzie's not too bad.
No.
The Munsters, I would say, are slightly better.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and they usually come with a little display base too. So if you did take them out, there would be something to stand them on, which is pretty neat.
Right.
And what do we have here, right in front of us?
Oh yeah, we have Enterbay's Jack Bauer from 24.
Wow.
In the likeness of Kiefer Sutherland. He's an awesome figure. This was produced in 2008. The show, I love the show 24.
Yeah, I've never seen it personally. I know plenty of people who love it, and it's really thrilling, right? It's like a thriller type.
It's an intense show. He works for a counter-terrorist unit, and it's just at the end of every episode, it's funny because it reminds me of those old classic chapter serials because it always ends on a cliffhanger.
Love that.
So you're like, oh, I gotta watch next week. Let's see what happens. So
the whole show, it takes place in 24 hours, right? So one episode's only takes place in like maybe half an hour.
Everything's supposed
or
to be in
something?
real time.
Okay, that's really neat.
Yeah,
this toy's amazing, by the way, though. It really is.
In the show, that was one of the features. You saw the clock going down.
Tick, tick.
Yeah.
The whole episode.
Well, they show it every now and then on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing,
yeah,
you can almost see this guy sweat. That's how real it is. I'm so impressed with this Enterbay. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They came out with other versions of this action figure. Diamond Select came out with a version, not as good. So, but yeah, as far as the TV shows of the past and the present, I think some of these action figures are really cool.
I do too.
Yeah.
And here's another game that even younger kids can play. It's Tuggy the Turtle, and watch him go.
Science fiction television has given us the most iconic characters. $6 Million Man's Steve Austin. The X-Files, Mulder and Scully. Battlestar Galactica's Apollo and Starbuck.
Yet some of them are not human.
Launch plus 8 hours. Inertial guidance system destroyed. No function of an environmental control robot is to supply all data pertinent to this particular field. Astronomical scanning data indicates that you are now observing Omega Nebula. I do not like grubby finger stains on my new suit of gold. Now on, I would appreciate it if you would call me Golden Boy.
When it comes to space travel, Sci-Fi Television doesn't disappoint. The same applies to its toys.
It would be against the prime directive of Robotech to expose human beings to danger of any kind. Warning! Warning! Danger! Danger, Robinson!
The character John Doggett from The X-Files had big shoes to fill when Fox Mulder's character was absent on seasons 8 and 9. Years later, the TV show was revisited. However, all characters from The X-Files were explained during these final episodes, but no mention of John Doggett, a character that definitely left his mark on the TV show, as well as have his very own action figure produced. Sci-Fi Television presents us with many great TV series as well as awesome toys.
Tonight on The X-Files, a chance encounter with an odd stranger brings Mulder a little closer to the truth.
Nano.
Welcome to the custom toy segment of the show. And today we have some custom Smallville figures that are all in 12-inch format. So what exactly is the custom aspect of these toys, Matthew?
Pretty much trying to gather figures that would look or resemble the Smallville actors and actresses from the show.
Right.
And then obtain the clothing, again, that would resemble what they wore.
Awesome.
So I actually put these together. I thought, well, whatever I do, they should all be similar in look.
Right.
So I chose to do the Ken and Barbie line.
Are these all?
These are all Ken and Barbies.
Ken and Barbies. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Because I noticed, that looks so much like Clark Kent. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was good. I found this guy. I think he was part of the Speed Racer set.
Okay.
And
that's a Barbie thing?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So he looked a lot like Tom Welling, who played Clark Kent on Smallville. So I thought I dressed him up like in the red coat, the plaid shirt that he wore, the jeans, and it looked pretty much like Clark Kent.
I'd say.
And then I was able to get a Superman suit as well. And actually the Superman suit is also a Bobby or a Ken Superman suit.
Wow.
Because I think they produced that for the new movie Superman Returns at the time.
Okay.
So, and then in front of us we have some more characters. Well, to the left of Clark Kent we have Lana Lang, who is the girl he went to high school with.
Right.
Over on the far side near you, we have the villain Lex Luthor.
Right.
And then next to him, Lois Lane, who the character appeared later in the show, I think like season 3 or 4, like just before Clark Kent was getting out of high school. And then his best friends in high school, which are in the box in front of me, Chloe and Pete. And in the TV series, Chloe drove a Volkswagen.
Yep.
And
the Beetle right there.
Yeah, it was great because Bobby produced the Volkswagen, same color for the thing.
Unbeknownst to them, they were producing all of this
Smallville. They didn't know at the time.
They didn't know that if you just shaved Ken's head, you.
That's right. He had hair.
Yeah.
And the hair was all removed, and
wow.
His head was painted.
Yeah.
And
it looks good. I didn't even know it was Ken until you said, and I was like, wow, okay.
He's probably like the most altered action figure in this line.
Gotcha.
The others pretty much just the clothing and that kind of thing. But he had to have some work done on his face and his head. So
excellent. Yeah. I love it. I think the boxes look great too.
Yeah.
Get them with some accurate scenes in the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, in the show, I should say.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, Smallville was a pretty cool show. I liked it. I like Superman. It was probably one of the better Superman shows in my opinion. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But that's what we have today. So again, thank you for joining us. And again, this is a new segment that we've put together, and we're going to be doing more custom toy segments, and I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Till next time.
I remember one Christmas asking for the Rookie's police car from LJN Toys. I love the TV show, especially the opening theme song, and I was hoping to get the toys as well. However, upon opening the Rookie's Toy police car, I found that LJN Toys only released the patrol car as blue and white, and not black and white as it appeared on the TV show. I still love the toy and play with it for many fun-filled hours, but it always bothered me that it wasn't the true depiction of the car that is seen on TV. Years later, I acquired an original Rookie's Toy police car from LJN Toys, and I was able to transform it into the black and white version as it appeared on the TV show. First, the car was taken apart, so to make it easy to paint the body of the car. Second, the car was spray painted with black paint, allowed to dry for a day, and then spray painted with white paint. Then the front grille was touched up with silver paint, thus transforming the blue and white Rookie's police car into the black and white version as seen on TV.
Hello, and welcome to the current toy review segment of In the Toy Box. And today we're talking about the Star Trek Mego collection because we're talking about TV toys.
That's correct.
And tell us about what we got in front of us.
Well, I love Mego. Mego was around in the 70s. They had Star Trek toys back then, Mego action figures. They're back, came back in 2018. They came out with some figures, Star Trek, and they're pretty good. But then in 2019, they came back with some more Star Trek figures, better likeness of the actors, the creatures are a little bit better, the clothes are pretty cool. I think they're really good action figures. I used to play with the original ones as a kid, so I'm really a fan of Mego.
And now you have a Greg Brady here.
We do have a Greg Brady.
Do you think that the bodies are about the same? Are they a little better?
Yeah, well, this is a Mego figure, just to explain. Yeah, the body, for some reason, it feels a little heavier than what I remember the Mego figures to be in the 70s, but pretty much the same. I mean, it's same style, same size. Some of the clothes pretty much looks like the same type of clothing.
Oh, yeah.
These are the same shoes from the 70s pretty much. But yeah, I think it might be just a tad better than what they used to be.
Yeah,
but
they're very bendable.
Yep.
And they're really neat for sure. And now these are just from the original Star Trek series. They don't have any of the Next Generation or anything like that,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
So far, I think they are. I thought I saw something that they are branching out to the Next Generation
Ooh,
on the 8-inch figures.
I'll be picking those up.
So, but as far as reviewing these toys, I like, because again, I'm an Amigo fan, so I like them as far as an action figure to play with as a display item. I think they're great. They're durable. They display well. The one thing I do not like about them is that they have not, so far, Amigo in the last 2 years has not added anything to these action figures. There are no play sets like they used to be. There's no vehicles like they used to be. So I don't know if that's something that will be coming out in the future or not. But that's the only thing wrong I can find with it.
Gotcha.
So that's why I'm rating it 4 toy boxes out of 5.
4 out of 5, you say? Well, they are excellent. I do like the boxes, although I have seen some of these boxes start peeling around the bubble.
Yes.
But they do display really nice. Anything with a cloth costume, to me, it just increases, it's a better quality to me. I love that. If it's painted on, it's just something's missing there. So I would give it a 4 out of 5. I love the characters they've come out with. I'd love to see more. And again, I would like to see vehicles or any sort of play set. That would be neat too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, I think all in all, Amigo's doing a great job. And 4 out of 5 from us, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. So join us again for our next current toy review. Thank you.
Bye.